Welcome to Sizzling Spaces, our landscape and architectural lighting edition. We've got a fountain in the background. We've got a castle type situation here. Beautiful home, beautiful landscaping, and beautiful lighting. So tonight we get to talk about the lighting. That's the icing on the cake. That's the sexy in landscape. Allows you to enjoy your beautiful landscape, your patio space, your water feature, all evening long. And the beautiful part about lighting that really excites me about it, as we talk about some of the specifics of this site, is the way you can basically just paint your landscape. It's like a canvas, and you're kind of painting it with the light. Things that you don't like that compost pile in the back, just disappear. And things that you love, like Frank over here, the gargoyle, we can highlight and even enjoy that much more in the evening. The shadows, all of that. So through this episode, we'll be chatting a little bit about some of the specifics and showing you some of the cool things. In this site in particular, we've got the latest and the greatest technology. I mean, this is awesome. It's controlled by an app on your phone. Every fixture in this design can change color, one of 32,000 colors. So as we start chatting a little bit here, front entrance. Some of the things from a technical standpoint that we try to do, your eye is naturally drawn to the brightest source of light. So when we look at lighting design, what can we do to attract people to the front entrance? What happens a lot with coach lanterns is you get glare, okay? When you see the source of the light, you get glare. So these, we actually don't even want these down, or we want them dimmed. And what we're doing is we've got lights kind of hidden through here. There's a light up there on Frank that you'll see tonight. And we've got little lights in this bed that are gonna create an effect called uplighting. And that uplighting, because it's different than Mother Nature. Mother Nature and the sun and the stars and the moon do downlighting. Your eye gravitates towards it more, it pops more. So in this case, when you see this illuminated at night, because we're uplighting, accenting the textures and whatnot, it will pop more. And we're putting a little more foot candles, trumping the light a little bit by the front here, just so the eye will naturally gravitate to it. The other type of lighting, which is really important, we call it traverse lighting, when we're dealing with walkways and changes of grade, okay? So there's a couple things in landscape architecture that are important. One is, if you notice here, the steps are not the same color as the walkway. So visually that kind of pops out during the day a little bit, that you know there's a grade change. The other thing that we do in this particular setting is we have path lights at the main grade changes. So those path lights, again, the bulb is covered completely by the shroud of the light, reflects up and illuminates downward. So that's going to give us a beautiful effect, some shadowing, while at the same time increasing the foot candles or amount of light at that grade change. So you'll notice it and you'll be able to see how that affects. And we always have construction and whatnot on these sites. So of course the construction truck is here today as we're shooting. One of ours as we're coming to do our lighting adjustment tonight, and you'll get to be a part of that in this edition of Sizzling Spaces. So the other effect, as I talked about earlier, is downlighting, where we're emulating the moon, Mother Nature and whatnot. The big thing about that is we don't want to feel the brightness or the source of the light. So our downlights here, rather than the coach lanterns and whatnot and the big floods, are up high. And if ever possible, we try to even conceal them in trees where we can catch shadows of the branches and things like that. So as the wind blows, you can see that and enjoy the textures and the different feel that a space has at night. In this particular place, you can see kind of across the pond here, there's a beautiful water feature which has lights on it as well, which kind of takes on a mind of its own in the evening hours. And then on the far end, you can see that rather large water feature. So when lighting water features, there's a number of things that we try to do. We don't want to just light the water and have the rest disappear. It's important that we kind of create a space. So when we look across there, we're actually uplighting some of the trees in there to kind of give it the backdrop and kind of a portrait where it expands beyond the water feature. And then we're also looking at lighting some of those outcrop stone, and we're also putting some underwater lights underneath the base of those fountains. So what happens is water will basically wick that light up, and it gives an awesome shimmering effect that we see in a lot of the pools and different things that we do. So as that water moves, when those lights come on underneath, it's gonna just kind of sparkle and glow and give an awesome effect. And with the system that we have here, we can actually change the color of the lights if we want a little blue, and kind of play around with what effect is gonna be the best. A big part of our lighting design work is not just throwing in lights and fixtures, it's putting the right amount of light in the right area, given the color scheme, given the light pollution, given all those outside factors, and selecting the right bulb to do the right job. So tonight, with our landscape and architectural lighting edition, when you get to see some of this, you'll see why landscape and architectural lighting rocks and why it makes your landscape sexy.